Hello, goal diggers! Welcome to boot camp. I hope that you guys are ready to work because being a goal digger and being part of this amazing team is not falling short. It is not at all falling short on training. There is training galore, right? So welcome everyone as you're hopping on. I'm just going to dive into it because the whole point of this boot camp is it's more like a workshop, right? It's like RuPaul, girl, you better work. You better be here ready to work on yourself, on your own business. So being in part of Goal Diggers, there is no lack of amazing resources. We just did the 12 Days of Kissmas and 12 Days of Leaders, and there is no lack of good content out there, but this boot camp is about you working and getting good, succinct information, and that's what we're here to deliver to you. So I hope that everybody has their notebook and a pen and that you are ready to work, and let's just jump in and get started, okay? So today is day one, and the first thing, my topic that I'm going to talk to you is about better branding, or branding 101, the basics. What is branding, right? Your branding, I think we all kind of know what branding is, but when you really start to think of it, I think you'll have a higher understanding, right? It's the Nike swoosh. It's the Target sign on the Target store where your kids are like, let's go to Target. And you know that they can't read Target, but that sign, that symbol, the sticker that they give you at checkout, it's on their bags, it's on their credit card, it's red, it's white. You know Target. Your kids probably know Target. Your husband probably knows when you got a Target receipt, right? So it's about branding. It's about being recognizable. It's about, guess what? It's about you. So good branding is if you have seen someone and you see something about them and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? That's genius. You just recognize good branding. So that's what we want to be. That's what you want to be, is you want to seek out being recognizable, being thought of. So that say your color combination or your font is seen by someone in another setting, they're going to think of you. Say they see something, they're just going to be reminded of you, just like the Nike swoosh, right? There's no doubt everyone here knows what the Nike swoosh is. So this is about developing your Nike swoosh, your target. All right, so I'm glad to see that some people have popped on. Hi, Jen. Hi, DC. Hey, Dana. Delilah, girlfriend. Mwah. Kisses across the miles. Okay, guys. So this is the first thing I want you to do is I want you to pop an emoji into the comment bar. I want you to put an emoji about what you feel about your branding, your current branding right now. Now, if you signed up this morning, you still have a feeling. So maybe it's the, do I need branding? Or maybe you are like me where you would put the hands up right now because you finally got that aha moment and you kind of feel like, about your branding. So go ahead and throw in the comments how you feel about your current branding, okay? So my girls know in my team that I'm kind of currently in this like love fest with Disney princesses, and I'm not a Disney person. I don't get when people go to Disney World. I don't get when it's people's happy place. I certainly don't get when people go without kids. I'm not judging you. I just don't understand. It's just not me. However, recently, I have fallen in love with some Disney princesses, and it's really not even the movie as much it's the soundtrack, right? So 10 times a day, I am in the car, 10 times a week, I am in the car taking my kid to and from. I love seeing some of these emojis are fabulous on how you feel about your branding. It's okay. It's all right. That's why we're here. So I love it that I'm seeing some hands up. So lately, we have fallen in love with the soundtracks on these 10 trips to and from preschool every week, and we listen to Disney soundtracks, and I find myself crying. Now, the one recently that really grabs me is Moana. So I don't know if you guys like Moana. Give me thumbs up, hearts and likes if you like Moana. I finally had to sit down, and it took about 3 times because I don't really sit down and watch too much TV or movies, but I took the opportunity when my kids were sick coming back from Costa Rica to hug them and hold them, and we watched Moana, and I had the waterworks running. All right, so the one part about Moana, if you haven't seen it, let me just catch you up. There's this part where the grandmother says to her, it'll probably grab me now. She says, and I'm not a singer, not at all, but she says, Moana, and she has like this little raspy voice. Do you know who you are? And then she says, who am I? And she talks about who she is, and it's this big moment about who you are. Guess what? That's branding. Oh, I kind of tear up a little bit thinking about Moana and thinking about who she is and who the other person in the movie is. If you haven't seen it, it's not real important. But the point is, do you know who you are? Because let's talk about branding that we all know. So if you're here, you know about Heather Shriver-Burns. Have you heard of her? Have you heard of that girl? Okay, so you had some kind of attraction to Heather. You see her in her new home office, and she has black and white stripes, right? You see her in the clothing that she wears, which is a lot of her branding. It's faith-based apparel. You see Living on a Prayer and a Lipstick is her group store. Is there like a cohesiveness, a theme? If you've ever ordered from her before you fell in love with the business idea and became a distributor, did you ever order from her? Did you ever see her packaging? So you see hot pink, you see gold, you see black and white stripes, right? It is cohesive, it is consistent, and it shows up here and there and everywhere. And what do? You recognize it. You may even be like me and be at Target or Marshall's or TJ Maxx, and you look down and you may see something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's totally Heather's branding. No, it was that company's branding, but guess what? Heather has taken your mind to the point of thinking somebody else's is hers, and you think of her, right? And that's amazing. That's amazing branding. I know a couple of people that I've met that are like, oh, I know, that's such good. That's so good. Like Living on a Prayer, and then Living on a Prayer and a Lipstick, and then our apparel line is Living on a Prayer apparel. And it's just all goes together, right? So it gives you a good feeling. So now we're talking about okay, how do we get there? How do I get that for myself where I'm not just like, oh, I wish that was me. I want my own that I feel like, oh. So if you guys are just tuning in, I see some more people tuning in. All of the emojis are how you currently feel about your branding. So go ahead and give me an emoji about how you currently feel about your branding. And then I'll get to the end where there will be an assignment. And of course, if you're catching on the replay, make sure that you hit replay. All right. So some of my branding goes back to another leader of ours who is Brittany Baumgartner. Okay, so I wrote it down, March 22nd. So if you go into Heather's Gold Diggers and you go into her videos and you see March 22nd, 2017, Brittany Baumgartner did a nice, succinct, 9-minute, clear-cut, wonderful video about buckets. And for me, that was learning from a boss babe, right? She has experience in social media. She has experience in marketing, and design is her background. And I heard that, and it was an aha moment for me. I went back, and I have probably now watched that video at least 4 or 5 times because it's great. And the point of her video is who you are. So who are you? How do you know what to post? And therefore, how do you know how to represent yourself? Okay, so this is where the workbook comes in. Even you people who are like iPhone, technology people, I'm an Android and a Mac person. I'm like that hybrid person, but I'm very much like a write down how you feel, what you think kind of girl. And I want to remind you that if you would take an art class right now today, you would walk into a room and there would be paper and pens and markers and pastels and materials that you need to feel with and that you need to get a feeling. So branding is creating that feeling. So I want you to ditch your computer, your spreadsheets, all of those technologies, because I want you to think about who you are, and I kind of want you to use your hands in it, okay? I'm not asking you to get out clay, but paper and pen, paper and marker, paper and crayon, something like that. And I want you to think about who you are. Who you are and your brand is going to come through a lot of things that are visual, right? So some of the visual things are going to be your colors. So when you just think about yourself, think about your colors, okay? Who are you? And we're going to get to the buckets, right? But what colors are you drawn to? Because Heather's branding is amazing. But if that were my branding, it would be so much work because I would have to go looking up Bible verses. Now, do I love her Bible verses? Totally love it. Do I love when she shares her faith? Am I inspired by it? Absolutely. Do I connect with her on that level? Yes. But that's her putting herself out and I connect with it. Guess what? I'm going to put myself out. So I need to realize who I am so that people can connect with the real me, not someone that I'm trying to be. It would be really hard for me to try to be Heather because it's not me. And God made you to be you and on purpose. And you need to embrace who you are. Now, it doesn't mean, I certainly don't think that we should tacky up the joint, right? I don't think we should put stripes all over everything. I think that, there's a limit. You don't want to tacky up the joint and you have to represent yourself well, okay? So you need to remember how to represent yourself well. But your packaging, your colors, your font, your words that you're using, and the feeling that you're putting out. So I want you to think about the feeling that you want to put out there. As much as I think we could go tacky, we also can tend to go negative. People love to hang on the negative. Oh, they'll jump on that bandwagon, no problem. Oh my gosh, the potholes are so terrible. Anybody else? Guess what? Everybody who drove today had a pothole in the north region of the United States of America. So guess what? They'll jump on that. They'll jump on that. So you want to try and make a positive spin, no matter who you are, no matter what your buckets are that we're going to get into in a minute. You want to make a positive spin on what you're doing, okay? So we're talking about your colors, the fonts that you're using in your apps, the trademark and the watermark. If you haven't thought about doing a trademark and a watermark, after we do the buckets, that's going to bring you back to that. Also, filter. Do you use filters in general? We're using our makeup, our skincare, our faces. We are talking color in our business, so you really don't want to filter out selfies of yourself or when you're trying to show product. However, on a daily basis, when you're marketing yourself, do you have a feel? Do you tend to go toward the sunlight? I tend to go toward the vintage kind of filters, the old style kind of filters. Do you tend to like really brighten it up? One of my first lines, my bestie, Liz, her name is Color with Liz because she wears all the LuLaRoe, all the colors. It doesn't matter if it's warm here and cool here on what she's wearing. It is all the colors, all the brightness. So she definitely wants to use those filters that heighten that brightness. She's never going to go black and white because she's Color with Liz. So you want to stay cohesive to that and even thinking about it in what you do with your filters. And it's okay. Write down, because at first when you're trying to find them again and again, you may forget, what was that font called that I like? What was that font that I identify with? And you want to stick to 2, max 3 fonts that you're using pretty consistently. So fall in love with them. Find them and fall in love with them. All right. So if you haven't made a watermark yet, we'll get to that, but there are apps to make a watermark and you should be throwing that on everything, right? We want original content all the time and you need to be throwing your watermark onto everything, okay? So what is your branding? Who are you? How are you going to figure out what you want to share out with everybody, okay? So like Brittany says, you're going to go from 3 to 6 buckets. You're going to think about, who are you? Moana, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Right now, who are you? You're going to start writing it down, okay? So let me show you mine and how I identified the 5 basics. I went 5. So it's 3 to 6, but I went with 5. And this is how I helped develop my branding, okay? So here's me. And this is the, oops, this is hard to be in there with it. This is the kind of thing that you're going to do, right? So you're going to put yourself up here. Whoops, there you are. I'd be a terrible teacher. You're going to have 3 to 6 of these circles, these buckets, right? And who am I? I'm a smiler. In therapy, we call that people-pleasing to a fault, but guess what? I'm putting the positive spin on it, right? When I see patients at work, I may not figure out their disease. I may end up telling them, like, you don't have this, this, and this, and those are the emerging conditions, but guess what? You're not dying today. But, you know, you still need to follow up with the gastroenterologist because there's still something going on with you. And what am I worried about in that interaction at the end? Are they pleased? Are they pleased? Do they feel like they were taken care of, that I cared, that I listened? That's just in me. That's who I am. And then I want them to leave smiling. And the nurses that are on my team that are on this video are going to be like, yep, and Mandee writes love notes to her people. I do. On discharge papers, I write love notes to people. And I tell them happy healing and things like that. So this is me. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a smiler. What else am I? I'm a farmer, right? So here's my little sheep. I have sheep. I have a cow. I have chickens and 2 pigs and guinea fowl. And we're expanding all the time. In fact, tomorrow we're going to go see if we can find a new animal to add to our family and our farm. Sustainability, that's part of who I am and what I do every day in my life. So I take care of these animals every single day. So that's me. So that's part of what I want to talk about, right? Even if people aren't farmers, they're going to be interested in me. They're going to be interested. I shouldn't say they're going to be interested in me. They may be, but it's something different about me. So I'm going to embrace that. Friend. Oh my gosh. I love on my friends hard. And my people who have been there for me, I'm a very emotional person, and people who have been there for me, I want to love on them. And I understand when other people, I just love when other people call out to their friends, even if I'm not like their close friend, I just love on that. Medicine, I practice medicine, and it's a passion to be able to go through PA school and become a PA. And so I embrace it, and I love it, and I love learning about it, and I love expanding on that. And then momming, and everything that comes with momming. I did 2 rounds of IVF to get my kids, and you know, I stay at home by choice to be with them. I could go to the hospital and make pretty dang good money. I can make better money with lipstick. Don't worry, I totally do. But so this is me, right? And do you see I used some colors there? That's totally me. So what does this equate to? This is me. This is going to be my branding. So who am I? I am Mandee Mancuso, the Smile Farmer. Okay? So this is my business card. On the back, it says my independent distributor ID, and then it says on the bottom, share a smile today and plant a seed of kindness. because that is my heart. And that is where I finally feel like when I first started, I just wanted to like go, and I was just so excited. So I created a quick group and it was called Wake Up in Your Makeup with Mandee Mancuso. It was fine. It was too long. And I want to encourage you to embody not just makeup products, embody yourself. Brand yourself and bring the attraction into that, because then if people just start following one of your attributes, something that makes you you, if they find interest in that, they're going to find interest in you, and then they're going to want to see what you're interested. And guess what? Are you interested in these products? They're amazing, right? So it's so genuine to be you. Everybody's so scared of being salesy. Everybody's so scared of trying to be seen as pushy. Guess what? Just be you. And then share your excitement for the products. Share a picture of yourself momming, practicing medicine, being a friend, being a smiler and a people pleaser, and a farmer in amazing makeup. Share that. Share yourself. Brand yourself. Be proud of yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. You are wonderful how you are. We're all working on ourselves. We're all doing it. We're all trying to be better every single day, and to know better is to do better and to be better. But in the meantime, there's still some core things that are downright you. And so I want you to find them, grasp them, and become them. And shout it from the rooftops and be proud of yourself and share that. And then make it cohesive. Colors, fonts, filters, put it everywhere, but watch for the tacky. You don't want to be tacky. Stay classy, right? Stay classy like Ron Burgundy. So on your paper, here comes your assignment, okay? This is boot camp. This is push-ups. This is a little bit of work, but this is quick, 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 quick. So I'm going a little bit too long here. My apologies. But what your assignment is this. You make this. Whether you gave me the, or you're like, I want you to make this. That's what you're going to make. And then you're going to take a photo of it. You have one of these smartphone things. I bet you do. So then you take your smartphone and you take a little picture and you comment it when you're done. No one's going to copy you because no one's you. But you got to do the work and you got to show me your homework, okay? This is where it's going to be. Guess what? This is not forever. This is my at least 7th design. This is my at least 7th design, and I use florals a lot. I wear floral a lot. It's just, again, it's easy to do and be cohesive with because it's me. So this is my 7th. So don't worry if you do this. You're still your own boss. You're still your own glass boss. You're still your own CEO. You can change it. You can tweak it. You can improve it. So go do it, and then show us. Even if you do it because no one else may ever like your comment on here, show it because you showed up to boot camp and you did the work. Have a great Sunday. I hope it's sunny where you are. I hope you are smiling wherever you are. And I hope that that smile is coming from deep in your heart. And if you don't have it, I hope you go look for it. All right, guys, take care. Hope this was helpful.